Welcome to Grandma Dorothy's Kitchen. I have a good one for you today. We're going to do steak. We're going to do a fried steak. And I have garlic salt, pepper and salt, but we're not going to put a lot of salt, just a little salt, because we're also going to use seasoning salt. So we're just going to put just a pinch of regular salt because we don't want it too salty. And then we're going to take this steak and we're going to chop it up in, I would say, bite-sized pieces, because we don't want too big of a piece. We want it like a bite-sized pieces. So this one here has a bone. So right here, see, where there's no bone, we're going to make bite-sized pieces because bite-sized pieces is easy eating. So, like so. The pieces like so. And I'll be back and I'll show you what it's going to look like. And this is my meat all seasoned up. And I'll be back with the next step because we're going to flour it up. And then we're going to put it in here and we're going to fry it up. So, I'll be back with the next step. We have all the meat seasoned up. And this is the flour. So we're going to sprinkle it with flour. We're going to flour it real good. Sprinkle it with flour. Each piece. We flour it because we're going to brown it. We're going to put it in oil, in olive oil, and brown it. So you want to make sure that you got flour on each piece. So when we take it to the skillet, we just drop it in the hot oil and brown it. Flouring it up, flouring each piece up. I'm using the cutting board because it's easier to flour it on the cutting board. And then I'll be back to show you the next step. This is a third of a cup of olive oil. See? And we're going to fry our steak. Place our steak in. And if it's too much steak, you just going to have to use 2 batches. But when you make the gravy, then you can add it all together. But don't worry about it being too much because you can fry 2 batches. But this happens to be enough. I can put all of them in there. And I'm going to let them brown on both sides. And I'll come back and show you the next step. We don't want them done. We just want them brown on each side because we're going to finish them off in the gravy. So this is the way you want them. And we're going to take them out of here. And then we're going to put them back in here, and we're going to saute a large onion. And I'll be back and show you the next step. We're getting ready for our gravy now. So the first thing we're going to do is see all these drippings in here from the meat. We leave it in here, and then we're going to saute the onion. It's going to take probably 6 minutes. So we're going to let them saute to get soft, and then we're going to add the meat back in with the water. I'll come back and show you the next spoons of flour, and we let it brown. Keep browning with the onions. Brown it about 5 minutes. The key to this is keep stirring because you don't want it to burn. Okay, so you can't leave it unattended. And now we're adding the meat back, okay? And then we're going to add a cup of water. And that's going to loosen up all that good juicy meat drippings. And then we're going to put the lid on it. And then we're going to turn it down to low. And let it simmer about 25 minutes. All the drippings, all the juices is locked in because it's got a top on it. Make sure you put a top on it so you can lock in all the juices as it cooks. See, this is the way the gravy is supposed to look. See there? You see the consistency of the gravy? Look at that. Oh, the smell is so good. Smells so good. You can smell all the onions and the flavoring from the the meat. Well, this is the way it's supposed to look. And we just steaming it on low until it gets nice and tender. Fork tender, that's what we want, fork tender. Here you have it, steak and gravy. You see the onions, you see the nice gravy, see how nice and brown it is. See the small pieces so that you can serve it like that. And then let's do a taste test. See, look, you see the gravy, you see the steak. Good, so good, very good. Here we have it. This is Mississippi smothered steak and rice. And this meal is good for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. I'm going to have it for breakfast. But you can have it for